into the studio. Today I am getting ready to show you our progress on our church livestream mix. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, church livestream mix is hard. Church livestream mix will make you want to tear your hair out some days. And but mostly once you get it down, once you get it going, we're down the road pretty far. But we are starting to make some small changes each week, and we're getting ready to go into 2021 with a bang. We're gonna bang it up in 2021. Now, we've been doing live stream mix since the beginning, and we've went through phases. And for you guys that are new to the channel, you will be able to go into my studio and check out my, let's see what I'm trying to say here. You'll be able to go into my website and get all of the gear links that I use to set up our studio, to set up our mix, okay, microphones we use, all the techie stuff. You'll also, more importantly, be able to download 2 important pieces of information to help you on your journey, all right? So you can download our actual setup, like these little diagrams that show everything we're doing. And lastly, you'll be able to download our latest Logic Mix template. Now, it says $9.99. That's a suggestion. You can pay whatever you want to. I believe you can pay all the way down to 99 cents. And this actually has audio on there, so you can actually practice mixing. You can actually use this to train your team to mix, and you can get that just for, it looks like, as low as 99 cents. Wow, what a deal. All right, anyway, so what I'm doing today is, this last week was December 8th, and we did live stream one service. We had a couple big things. I mean, Holly played on the bass this week. She's one of our college students. She's been doing the youth band. She played on there. Robbie came back from his trip around the world and played keys, okay? And we used main stage this week. So we kind of set up, we're kind of moving towards a couple things. We're moving towards click tracks, and we're moving towards using main stage. So some of these small things are coming. And Tyler was on the faders this week. I was on front of house. All that I say for me for later, so I can see what's going on. Now, there's some really good stuff going on. Now, in the beginning, this is the beginning. Let's just listen to it, and we'll get into it. This is a live mix. Tyler sat down and pulled the faders up, and so he's doing some small adjusting, I think, on the overall volume in the very front of this. But let's listen to it. Why not? The glories of His righteousness and wonders of His love and wonders of His love and wonders of His love. All right, so a couple things I'll just say right off the bat here. We've made some adjustments. Robbie's mic is the CAD 95 on this week. It's good on his voice. Even on the live stream, it sounds really good. It's a little bright and mid-rangey in the room, but I did not EQ it as much. But today, the drums are sounding really good to me. The lead vocals are very clear and crisp. That is the key, though, getting the right microphone on the right voice. And I think we're getting closer to that with each one of our lead vocalists. Backup vocalists not as important with that mic placement, because they're going to come in and sing, and generally you're going to have them underneath the lead. But you want the lead to cut through. You want it to be good. You got to get the right microphone on the right person. And I think we're really close. We're really close there with Robbie. Okay, so I'm going to turn this mic up. Speaking of mic, let's turn my mic up. We're really close there with Robbie in getting his microphone clear. The drums, we're working on the snare. The snare is good. It's okay. We're going to have another drummer next week and probably a different snare, so that'll be interesting. It'll be Paul. And I'll be releasing Paul's How to Tune a Snare Drum video probably next week. Okay. So this is pretty good. We got we have Jess, and listen, his mic sounds really good too.
So you doing this, you are living out our vision that we exist because everyone needs the hope of Jesus. So I encourage you at some point to do that. I'm going to pray and ask you guys just to prepare your hearts as we get to anticipate, go back and anticipate the first arrival, but also as we look to the second coming of Jesus. God, we love you, and we thank.
It's got a good pad going on underneath. That's a good mix of that. It's got his pastor mic. What do you call that thing? The pastor's mic sounds good. It sounds pretty good. So we've got that tweaked, and that was tweaked. It's hard to get some of those countryman style mics to sound good. But ours does sound good. And then I'm going to fast forward through this and get into this acoustic guitar. Maddie's using a 58 beta. It sounds really good on her voice. So she's found her mic. She brings her own mic, which is a good thing because, with coronavirus and all, you don't want to be singing through somebody's microphone. Just saying that, just saying. All right, so let's listen to this.
Of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. In your presence, Lord, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord.
Yeah, the drums sounded good. Yeah, Sean back. The bass sounds good. The bass sounds really good this week.
There's nothing worth more. There's nothing worth more.
So our cymbals are splashy. You don't hear those, but that's the problem I'm having. The cymbals are a little splashy. We're going to be working on a drum enclosure, and you'll hear more about that in the next couple months as soon as I can build some stuff. But that pad was kind of weird. I think Robbie's playing some pad on the keyboard, and we're also running a pad through the house. And I think that we're changing that this week. So the pads will be running off of Ableton, and then the keys will go through main stage. Because right now I think our pads are competing. I don't know how Tyler mixed that, but I feel like I hear sort of this. The pads are sort of like wow together doing something funny. So I think, just one pad would be better. And maybe that is the one pad. It's just a different pad than I hear in the house. So and that's what it is. This is a broadcast mix. So what I'm hearing in the house is a different pad than what's on the live stream. Or they're together and they're kind of pushing against each other. I think Tyler probably picked one or the other though. He probably could hear that and he picked one. All right, let's see.
What our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. In your presence, let us become.
Dude, I'm smiling because I'm like, you know what? That sounds really nice, Tyler. Dang, good job, man. I mean, the bass is in there, it's right, and the drums are right, and then you got this that main stage keyboard Robbie's using is really nice. It's sort of tangy, plangy, like electric piano. Man, I don't know. I got a good smile on my face there, dude. All of this stuff's working together. We have a new bass player this week, and she bought her bass and she plugged it in. And like how basses are for me is either when you plug your bass in, it either sounds awesome or it sounds like a big pile of junk. I mean, there's just two. That's been my experience with bass players. Either it sounds awesome or it just sounds like, what is wrong with the bass? She plugged this Rogue bass in. It's like a cheap bass, and she's like kind of cracking a little smile there, like, yeah, this. I'm like, this sounds so good. She's like, it's a Rogue bass. Sorry, Rogue. But in general, I would think Rogues are cheap. But look, cheap guitars can sound good. And her bass is a cheap bass. It's not like the Fender Jazz bass. It sounds good in the room. I barely EQ'd it, did nothing. I just turned it on. And she plugged it in and boom, it's just filling up the room. I grew up playing a bunch of cheap guitars. And sometimes you just look for the guitar. It doesn't matter how much it is. That is my point. Her bass sounds maybe as good as any bass that comes across our stage in the last 6 months, 4 months, and it is a Rogue. Okay, it's a Rogue bass.
Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware
Yeah. Hear that key? That key is killer. All right, so all that's really good, and that's Maddie. She's one of our lead worship leaders, and I just shared to you on my chat here. I just shared to you her Spotify link. She does have a Spotify album. It's a country album, and it's a killer album, and it's out there. She's already cranking up the views. So go check that out. That's her right there. You can check that out. So she does country, and we're actually getting ready to start writing music, and maybe we'll have a song out next year. Okay, the church at Spring Hill. So that's exciting stuff too. But this is the building blocks here. This is all good. I think they're doing some prayer. I think they're doing some different stuff. I'm not going to listen to all that. And then I think they come out with maybe Robbie comes out at the end, just does a piano song. That's a let's see, maybe he does that here. I'm trying to find it. I'll find it. There it is. Okay, so it's just a little piano and a little vocal. Let's listen to that.
And tell nature sing, and heaven and nature sing.
Yeah, I don't know where you got that sound, Robbie, but it sounds good. I mean, that's kind of a cool, like, modern-y, electric-y, chimey piano tone. So cool. And you can't get that out of the piece of junk piano that we have. We have a Williams. It's a Guitar Center. You probably all have that keyboard, so I'm sorry if I offended you. But ours is turning into a big piece of junk. It just stops and starts. And so we're using it as a MIDI controller and going through main stage. Now, that Guitar Center Williams piano is like $299, and I bet they've sold a ton of them. If I was like young, for young kids or whatever, and even for us, we've been using it on stage for a long time, but it doesn't have it doesn't open up. Okay, it doesn't open up. It doesn't have a lot of great sounds. It has a decent piano sound. If you EQ the heck out of it, it sounds okay. But we're moving beyond that, and so these are little changes that you're going to go through. Every little thing you're going to do is going to make a major difference. Not just writing the faders, that's going to be the end goal. So when Tyler sat down, Tyler's a phenomenal mixer, so he can listen and he can take all of those pieces and shape them together. But if you have a really junky piano sound coming through, it's not going to get better. So a lot of times I talk to people and they say, like, our live stream doesn't sound good, and you can tell they're like, they don't get it. Like, I don't know what's going on with our live stream. I don't know what's going on with our live stream. It's what I teach in my class on Worship Band Builder. It's every little thing matters. Every little thing. So if you go to Worship Band Builder and you go to bundles, and then you go down to audio live stream foundations, this is where I get into the nitty gritty. I mean, the little nitty gritty, every little thing. And I'm in there messing around all the time. Every piece matters. If your bass guitar is not right, then when you go to do the mix, you can't get it to sound right. It's not going to sound right. So you can always join Audio Tech Foundations and look for a sale, because we're about to throw a huge sale down like we've never thrown. I think I'm getting the feeling that with COVID and with all of the destruction of the church that has happened in the last 6 months, we're getting ready to do a phenomenal sort of sale to get all of you guys into this for, I know if you can't afford it, if you're a small church or if you're just trying to get by, we still want to help you. And so we're going to get I believe we're going to be releasing a name your own price on all of our bundles for at least the next couple weeks and maybe through January. So I don't know exactly, but keep an eye on that. If you like the channel, if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel and share this video. If you just click share on YouTube, or and go over to Facebook and drop this link into your Facebook, or if you just click share on Facebook, share it to your friends. Dudes, that makes so much difference. Even if you're just like my mom, okay, just mom, share the video. I'll go down and I'll tell Emily, hey, I got this many views. She'll be like, yeah, how many of them are your mom? That's funny. It's my mom and my grandma. They're my biggest fans, And that's where it starts, So mom and granny, share the video, everybody. Just click on share. Your friends will be like, who is this weirdo in his room listening to these people online and talking like this? Whatever. Look, this is going to help a lot of people. The logic mix template that we made is super easy. All the foundations classes we're teaching, they're very foundational. And everywhere I go, people are like, I don't know what's happened to our live stream. What's going on? I really am focusing on audio, bringing it up to the next level. And we're trying to get to broadcast mix level, album level. Like if you listen to this, if this came on the radio, you wouldn't be like, oh, is that a local church live stream? No, we're trying to get to the level like, oh, that's pretty good. That sounds like a live album. So you're basically mixing a live album live on the fly every single week. Now that takes time. It takes skill. Absolutely takes training. It takes the right people in the right spots. And that's where we're going. And it just takes time. The process is really, the journey is really fun. It's part of that. So wherever you're at right now, it takes time, it takes money, it takes effort. Mostly, though, it takes obsession, and knowledge. Get yourself some knowledge, get yourself some obsession, get in there and say, I'm going to make this a little better every week, and pretty soon you'll turn it on, and maybe it'll sound like a live record, and you'll reach more people. Like this week, our pastor came in and said somebody that's been watching our live stream came to our church, and he led that guy, gave his heart to the Lord this last week. So I said, keep those stories coming, because when we're working hard, when we're trying to do this, sometimes you might think, what is the point of this? The point of this is people are looking right now. Churches are closing. People are seeking. That brings me to my last thing for today. I'm going to say everything in my one video, but I can because it's Facebook, so I can do whatever I want to. Nobody's going to stop me. You know what? You can go tomorrow, Thursday. We're having Derek Johnson, our other worship leader, which he was in that video, by the way. Derek's in that video. Derek, you got thrown in the back. Derek's right there. Hold on. I'll show you. Derek is way back there on the side. He's way back there. Derek's an artist, a Christian artist. He is a friend, super nice guy. His son plays in our youth band. He's going to be on our Share Hope podcast. We're releasing there's Derek. He's rocking out. Derek is one of our really solid rock in our worship foundation. I think he's our worship deacon. I think Derek must do a lot of stuff. Anyway, he's going to be on our Share Hope podcast on Thursday. So we are releasing a brand new podcast on Thursday. I'll talk more about that later, but it all kind of ties together for why you want to do a live stream. And maybe I'll talk about that in another video. But Share Hope is a new podcast that we're releasing on Thursday, and it's going to be stories from people sharing their testimony. We did our first one last week, but we're going to do one every week or maybe more and create an entire podcast series around the people that are around us and the people that are, and you, anybody around us. You don't have to live near us. We can pipe you in if you want to share your testimony with the world, because this live stream that we've been doing is producing what you might, people are looking for hope. They're like, they're basically hitting bottom and going, I need something. And we heard a story this week about a guy who did just that, gave his life to Christ because he just hit bottom. But he's been watching our live stream, and now he's going to start coming to our church. So if you want to talk about church growth and church moving forward, and also just sharing the gospel and sharing hope, your live stream is very important. So I find it very important to work on it excellently and push forward towards excellence, because we are not trying to produce some little dinky church live stream. Anyway, let me know what you think about that, and make sure you share the video. I'll see you on the next video, and God bless you guys. I'll see you out on the golf course. No, I don't golf. I don't know. I'll see you out on the race car. I don't race. See you on the next live feed.